In the Gospel of Matthew, Jesus tells a story about a guy who owes the king a debt. The debt is big, like crazy big. In today's terms, the guy owed the king $7 billion. Whoa. Obviously, the guy can't pay it. So the king's solution is to sell the guy, his wife, his kids, and everything he owned. When he heard this, Mr. $7 billion in debt fell to the ground and begged the king for patience. Feeling sorry for him, the king decided instead to just forgive what he owed. Again. Whoa. So the guy left feeling pretty relieved, of course, when he came across a friend. This friend owed the first guy around $12,000. So what do you think the first guy did? Well, I'll tell you. He grabbed his friend by the throat, demanded repayment, and when his friend begged for patience, the guy took him and threw him in prison until the debt was repaid. So when the king hears about all this, he calls the guy back in and tells him, "I had mercy on you for a debt you could not ever repay. Shouldn't you have had mercy on your friend?" Seriously, dude, I understand how you can be $12,000 in debt, but $7 billion? That's no accident. You gotta work hard to rack up that much debt. Hi, I'm Jessie. Welcome back to Theo Academy's Confirmation series. We ended our last lesson by saying that God is the boss of everything, and God's a pretty good boss at that. God made us and takes care of us because God loves us. The kicker comes when we have to admit that a lot of the time we're not all that worthy of the love God shows us. Just like Mr. $7 billion in debt, we do some amazingly stupid, selfish, and hurtful things. We'll chat about those stupid, selfish, and hurtful things in a later lesson. But Presbyterians think it's important to talk about a different idea first. That idea is called grace. Grace is what we call it when someone treats us better than we deserve. When the Book of Order says that God redeems the world, this is what it's talking about. Presbyterians think that before we talk about sin or creation or anything else, we have to know first that God is a God of grace. It's just like how the letter A comes at the beginning of the English alphabet. You can't move on to the other letters without going through A. We're not saying that B through Z aren't important. We're just saying that everything starts with A. The first thing we have to know when we talk about God is that God is always treating us better than we deserve.
Ask the pastor.
What is grace?
What's the prayer you say before a meal? No, I'm just kidding.
Grace is the manifestation of that love that God has for us in Jesus Christ.
It's a gift from God that we cannot earn, that is given freely.
That God extends to us love and forgiveness that we can never earn and we don't necessarily deserve.
What does it mean to live by the grace of Jesus Christ?
It means that we're never going to be able to do it on our own.
All right, well, why is grace one of the first things we talk about? Why don't we talk about sin first?
Because that's the amazing thing that God has given us. We don't deserve it. We can't earn it. It's a free gift.
Ooh, yeah, sin might be more fun to talk about first, right? I mean, like we start like examples. We could take like field trips to the place where there's lots of sin, you know?
So when we talk about grace, then we don't have to be feeling guilty all the time.
That's how we understand ourselves, first and foremost, as forgiven.
Well, how do we get grace?
We really can't get it at the store or anything. It's just given freely. It just comes to us from God, who can't wait to pour out grace on us.
If you could get it, then it would be a work. It would be a thing that you earned.
Can we lose grace?
Once God has granted us grace, it's here for us.
You're not going to lose God's grace. God's grace is always at play. We may lose sight of it. We may lose access to it in the sense that we can't feel it in a moment, but God's grace is always active.
Is it a thing or a behavior? Because you hear people saying act gracefully, but then you also hear God's grace. So is it like a thing or a behavior?
Both. It's given to us by God, and we try to live into it. So first it's given to us, then we try to behave
Accordingly.
accordingly.
Are we sure it exists?
I'm sure through faith that it's there, but not sure that it's there like I'm sure that this pew is here. You know, it's a different kind of being certain about things.
I'm positive grace exists because I've seen it over and over again. Even, people give us grace when we don't deserve it. And I believe that God is even more gracious. So how many times have I done things that I know I shouldn't have done?
Now, if I'm a really devoted Christian, can I get more grace?
You could be absolutely horrible and still be gifted with God's grace, or you could solve world hunger and God might not love you anymore because God already loved you so much. And so, yeah, you really can't calculate grace. It's not really a ledger kind of thing.
If I don't have to do anything or can't do anything to get grace, can I just not worry about being a good person?
Yeah, just whoop it up. It's just woo, let's go, party time, right? It's something that you shouldn't worry about, but it's something you should honor.
Once you have experienced God's grace, you're going to want to live as God created you to live.
Well, think about it this way. You love your mom and dad, and they do things for you, then you want to do things for them. So I know sometimes on Mother's Day you've made breakfast for your mom. It's kind of like that. So God loves us. God has given us grace. So then we want to do better things. We want to live better. Not because we have to, but because we have experienced that love, and that's the way we want to live.
This is hilarious. Jeremy's gonna have no idea it was me. Seriously, who brags about what a great MyFace password they have and then tells someone what it is? Wow, this is going to be great.
It was horrible. The post was up for hours, all night, and I didn't see it until I was walking to school this morning.
I'm sure it's not as bad as you're making it.
Not as bad! Not as bad! Gerard, everyone thinks I have a crush on Denise. Look, she's nice and all, but I don't like her like that. Even Audie left a comment that we'd make a cute couple. Ugh, I want to be a cute couple with Audie, and now she thinks I want to be a cute couple with Denise. This is awful.
Look, I'm sure it'll be alright. I'm sure whoever did it just did it as a harmless prank.
That was not a harmless prank. I'm a sensitive guy, Gerard. You know that.
Yeah, I do. Look, Jeremy, it was me.
It was you?
Yeah.
Why? Why would you do that?
Like I said, it was just a prank. I wasn't trying to hurt your feelings. I was just trying to have some fun. Look, I'm really sorry. Really.
Gerard, you're my best friend, but this really hurts.
I know. I'm sorry.
Okay, fine. I forgive you. I guess it could have been worse. I mean, it's not like you told him I still sleep with my teddy bear or anything.
You still sleep with your teddy bear? Wait till the gang hears about this. Kidding.
The greatest thing about God's grace is that there's nothing you or I can do to deserve it. There's nothing we can do to lose it. There's nothing we can do to get more of it. It's like a present that God is always giving us. We don't have to figure out how to get it. We just have to pay attention to the ways God is trying to give it to us. But the story of the guy who owed the king all that money has a more important point than just God giving us grace. The story ends with a question from the king. I had mercy on you. Shouldn't you have had mercy on your friend? This is the piece we always forget. But the story of grace is not complete without this part. The way God works is this. God loves us and is always forgiving us, regardless of the monumentally stupid, selfish, and hurtful things we've done, and of all the things we've stood by and allowed to happen. And when God forgives us for that, there is only one thing God asks in return. In gratitude, give grace to others. That's it. If you don't learn anything else from confirmation, that's the one piece you should hold on to. I know this sounds a little crazy because I know that you're already thinking of all the people that have hurt you and you don't want to forgive them. I don't blame you. Frankly, I don't like it either. But when I think of who I am and what I've done and that God loves me and forgives me anyway, I realize that the ways I've hurt God are so much greater than the ways anyone has ever hurt me. So as hard as it is, I need to forgive. Don't misunderstand. I'm not saying we should stick around and let people hurt us more. But I think there's a way to live life without holding a grudge. And even though you may not think you've ever done anything too terribly bad, just wait. At some point, we all look at what we've done and we can't believe that we actually did that or said that or thought that. And that's the moment when I want you to remember this video. That's the moment when I want you to remember you are always loved by God. Forever.
I'm Landon Whitsitt, producer of the Theo Academy videos. This confirmation series was made with the help of a lot of great people. You can see all their names right there. We should give them all a hand. They did some magnificent work. We have put the first 5 confirmation videos on YouTube for absolutely free. That is about a third of the entire series. We like to just give away as much content as we possibly can, and you have an opportunity to help us continue doing that. If you want to support Theo Academy and help make sure that we can continue producing high quality video curriculum for the church, please go to our website and get yourself a copy of the entire series, including study guides, for either a $20 digital download or a $40 DVD set. This is just a one-time cost. You will own the stuff, so please make as many copies of the material as you need for the rest of your life. Also, if you just want to give us a donation, that would be spectacular. You can find links to purchase and donate down in the doobly-doo. For those of you who have already supported the Academy, thank you so much. Seriously, it is a thrill for us to get to come to work every day and do this kind of work. And with your help, we'll be able to continue putting out these kind of high-quality materials for the church for a long, long time. Thanks.